So, like most people, when it comes to the Fantastic Four, I don't think we had a lot of excitement about this, especially with how we know Marvel does their casting, especially. We don't know, we still don't know how that's going to turn out. But the only good thing that I thought maybe this could be something interesting was the fact that Jon Watts was going to be directing it. I thought with the Spider-Man movies he's done, they've all been good. So maybe, just maybe, this guy could actually do something good with the Fantastic Four. But it looks like that's no longer happening as he's now quit. He's now quit, and I can't say for sure, but I can speculate on the reason why he's left. And I think that comes down to creative control. You've got to remember when he's done his Spider-Man movies, this has been under Sony. So he's probably had a lot more creative control over there than he would have at Disney Marvel. So I think that's the possibility. That is the reason why he's gone. It's like we've got proof of this where Marvel made a big deal out of how, oh, we've got a woman directing a film because that's never happened before. And one director turned it down because they wouldn't let her direct the action scenes. So it just seems like no matter what, when you're working at Marvel, at least on their films, you're not given a lot of freedom. I imagine Kevin Feige comes in, tells you what's what, and you're just supposed to stick to it. There's a reason why, at the moment, they keep hiring these unproven people nobody's ever heard of. And mainly it's because they're cheap, and they do as they're told. Whereas I think Jon Watts having a lot more... Because this guy, I believe, started off like making indie movies. So with that, you've obviously got a lot more freedom with it. I imagine going in the Sony, he might not have had full control over it, but he would have at least been able to do something on his own. And we know that's just not the case for Marvel. And I think I have seen that there's some clip going about that the guy they're getting for Mr. Fantastic is John Krasinski, which is that's a great choice. Now we just have to wait and see what they're going to do with the rest of them, because do we really expect them to have, sort of portray them of how they look in the comics? I don't think so. I don't think Marvel are going down that route. But Jon Watts has withdrawn as the director of Fantastic Four, the reinvention of the vulnerable Marvel comic series at Marvel Studios and Disney. Watts just directed Spider-Man No Way Home, the Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios film that grossed $1.89 billion to become the 6th highest grossing film of all time. Nothing sinister here. Watts just needs a break from the superhero realm after completing the Spidey trilogy with Tom Holland and Zendaya. So, we don't know if he's coming back for the next Spider-Man films either. I don't know. It does come across like it's just due to not having a lot of creative freedom. Because why would you turn down? Why would you go? No, I'm not doing that anymore. That makes no sense. Unless you've got shit going on in your life. But I don't know if that's the case. He had expected to make Fantastic Four his next film, because the other thing you've got to consider is that he was already he already was doing this movie. It's maybe just been a wake-up call that no, they're not going to let me do my own thing. Watts has spent the better part of the last decade directing and promoting the Spider-Man films after being hired off Cop Car, a small-budget indie thriller that premiered at 2015 Sundance. He needs a breather. It seems like Deadline is speaking for him. Both Watts and Marvel confirmed his exit and said that it is amicable. Kevin Feige says collaborating with Jon on the Spider-Man films has been a true pleasure. We were looking forward to continuing our work with him to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU, but understand and are supportive of his reasons for stepping away. We are optimistic that we will have the opportunity to work together at some point down the road. I imagine he'll skip this one and just go straight to the Spider-Man stuff. That's probably what's going to happen. Watts said that making 3 Spider-Man films was an incredible and life-changing experience for me. I'm eternally grateful to have been a part of the MCU for 7 years. I'm hopeful we'll work together again, and I can't wait to see the amazing vision for Fantastic Four brought to life. We wonder what that's going to be. I don't see any way in that they have all the characters straight and white. That's just a no-no, innit? Especially when you're dealing with Marvel. But this isn't good news for Fantastic Four. Because as I say, most people probably ain't that excited just because they know how Marvel is at the moment. But I think having Jon Watts' name attached to it, especially coming off the success of No Way Home, that just gave it a lot more interest.